Johnny,
Shim,
I wore a special shirt today. This shirt, I think that's Army Armstrong. He's sitting there and he's thinking, I foil, therefore I am. I think that's what he was doing when he came up with the 1550V2. This video is a review of the 1550V2 for wake foiling behind the boat. We think a lot of these things will apply to the other disciplines as well with the 1550. We've been riding that foil now for about a week. We wanted to try it in several different circumstances so that we could give you a good read in terms of what this wing does really well. I think, anything else you want to say in the intro there, Johnny?
well, I think the thinking paid off. You know, foil rides great, and nice work.
Yeah, I think, so let's start right in here. This is the 1550V1, and you'll notice a couple things here when we compare it to the 1550V2. If you look at this profile in terms of the wing shape, you can see the 1550V1 a lot more wingtip on that. It's also a lot thicker. And so when you elongate this, straighten it out a little bit, and you make it thinner, it increases the speed dramatically. And so this 1550V2 pumps amazingly well. We took this to answer one of your questions I'm sure you might have. What if I don't have the A+ system? You can still ride that 1550. The first thing that we did is we took the V2 and put it on the non-A+ system, and we rode it, and it rode really nicely on that. We had the 232 on the tail of it, and it worked just fine. It rode great. Now, of course, we'll always defer to what Armstrong says, but our experience in terms of using that was that it worked just fine. Well, then we took it and we put it onto this A+ system. We did the conversion ourselves, and then we rode it. Oh my gosh, the A+ system has a stiffer back fuse, and once we started riding this, the pumping that we got out of it was amazing. Probably one of the greatest wake foil rides, at least that we had, was courtesy of the 1550V2. It's very fast. It's much faster than the 1550V1. The 1550V1 continues to be our go-to recommendation for people who are coming up to speed on foil. It's forgiving, it's fun to ride, it's good for all types of riders, whether you're intermediate or whether you're a beginner and emerging talent. This 1550 takes it up a whole nother level in terms of speed. It carves really nicely. It's the mid aspect, so it's in the family with the 1850 and the 1250. This 1550, woo! It cruises.
Awesome. Yeah, I would say my feet are getting wet over here.
My feet are getting wet too, John.
Yeah, I know. Problem is I got my shoes on. All right. Yeah, no, this V2 is an awesome foil. More responsiveness, you have more glide.
Yeah.
Probably a higher pump speed, but it's an easy to work wing behind the boat. You can go wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, switching, crossing waves.
We did a pump across to another boat. I probably pumped 100 yards onto about their 8th or 9th wave, and it picked it up really quickly. It has a really nice stall speed. Like, it keeps going as far as you want to go. It's very responsive, and it turns nicely. Going mid aspect, you don't really lose anything in terms of your carvability.
No, yeah, I feel like it carves great. I like it with the +1 shim. I feel like the +1 just gives it a ton of drive.
Yeah.
But you have maybe a greater sweet spot, I guess, to be in the zone where you're pumping and you're not just exhausting yourself because you're just trying to maintain the height. Once you get it up to cruising height, if you will, on the pump, it just goes forever.
Yeah, and when we say +1 shim, we're talking about the A+, the polycarbonate shims. It's a red one that goes on there, and it provides a ton of drive. You know, our first ride we did with no shim, and it still rode really nicely, but you didn't get the same drive that we got out of that +1. The +1, when you're pumping and you re-platform, you re-elevate to get up, this setup with the +1 really brought you back up to the top so you can continue pumping. And the sky's the limit in terms of this 1550 V2. You know, I can't wait to see what type of what type of things that we do over this over the ensuing weeks.
Yeah, no, it's a great foil. Highly recommended. Nice work, Army, and I think people behind the boat will find it awesome.
Yeah.
If you're new to foiling, wondering what foil to buy, this one, 1550 in the quiver, I would say is just solid all around. So beginners, advanced riders, you have a long zone in which you can use this foil.
Yeah,
so
you're not gonna outgrow foil. This foil. Again, 1550 V1. This is a really nice foil if you're getting going and foiling for the to start out. We actually really like this foil. 1550 V2. If you want to get going, get more speed and enjoy that, this is going to be a great one for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, just call that number right there on the screen. We're more than happy to have a conversation with you, talk through trade-offs in terms of whether that's the Armstrong foil, somebody else, or different decisions that you might want to make inside of the Armstrong family to match the perfect foil to your skill level and what you want to do. And I gotta tell you, I couldn't be more excited about this setup, Johnny. It's really fun. It's a joy to ride, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, the nice thing is the foils just keep getting better. You know, the guys that are taking the input from the riders, it's good to see revs that just keep advancing the game. So yeah, it's great.